Okay, hello YouTube. I just wanted to say something to you concerning God's love. God loves us all. Yahweh loves us all. And never let no one tell you differently. For God so loved this world that he gave his only begotten Son, that none of us shall perish, but have everlasting life. And grace and mercy follows. Right now, we're living in a time where we have grace and mercy. Now, after the rapture comes, then you don't have that anymore. You don't have it anymore. How can you not feel that he don't love you? Because number one, could you allow your son to get beaten and then to turn around and be mocked? Then turn around, not have a baseball cap on his head, but have the crown of thorns. Can you imagine how it just slid into his skin? And then he has to walk down that long road being marked, carrying a heavy cross, a very heavy cross, heavy. And then it dropping because he's weak from it. So he has to get someone to help him, or either a soldier as a African American or an African, period, because at that time it wasn't American, but an African to help him carry his cross. Can you imagine seeing your son walking down that aisle, sweating blood and everything, and then he get to the end, and he is so weak that he falls on the wood, on the cross that he has carried. And then you see the soldiers with the nails and the hammer. And can you imagine your son stretched out and they begin to nail either his hands or his wrists with the blood going all the way through the wood to the ground. And then they begin to pull the cross up as they nail his hands and his feet. Can you imagine seeing your son hollering? Can you imagine? You'd be ready to fight, honey. It would be a problem right then. You will have your shotgun ready and loaded. Automatic, bats, knives, hatchets, and machetes. Let's get it. Because that's my child and I'm finna hurt somebody today. But not Yahweh. He hung up on the cross and he stayed there. No man could take his life. No man could take his life. Do you understand what I'm saying? And he stayed there. And it was at one point that sin covered him. He asked his father, "Why have you forsaken me?" Yahweh cannot look upon sin. There was two thieves on the side. One was talking foolish and one was not. The one that wasn't, he said that he would see him as he entered into heaven. Can you picture your son just standing on the cross, just stretched out, saying, "I'm thirsty." But what they give him, he didn't even want. But when he said, "Father, I commend my life or my soul. I'm giving up the ghost. It is finished." Can you imagine your son dying? Can you picture yourself allowing this to happen to your child? You wouldn't even have enough love to allow somebody to hurt your child. You gonna love somebody that much for your child? The first thing you're going to do is make sure that your child is good. You will fight over your child. Your own child. Yes, you would. So to say that God don't love you? Really? Oh, yes, he did. He gave his son as a sacrificial lamb for all of our sins. Yeshua died for us. And when he rose with all power in his hands. Now Yahweh has blessed us with grace and mercy. When you wake up in the morning, that's grace and morning. When you wake up in the morning, that's grace and mercy. Excuse me. When you lay down at night, that's grace and mercy. No one have broken your house. When you go to the stores, when you go to your job, when you go to church, that's grace and mercy that no one have came in there or hurt, kill, steal, or fault you. So grace and mercy abound, and it abounds in your life. So I'm telling you that while you got a chance to get it right on this side, I would advise you to do that. Because after he sound the alarm for his people, his children to be caught up and all the dead rise in Yeshua's name, which is Jesus, there's no more grace and mercy. Oh, you got to worry about what you got to do. So I'm telling you this. Know that Yahweh loves you. And know that he loved you enough that he gave his only begotten son. Something that I don't think none of us is able to do or would want to do. It would be a problem. We'd be ready to fight. I told you we're getting every darn gun in the house. Shotgun, pistol, everything. Blades, butterfly knives, mace, all of it. Brass knuckles, anything that you can find. A hammer, a tomahawk, anything that you can find to tear somebody up over your child. So just know that he loves us. Thank God that he don't think as man do, meaning man and woman. Okay, so I'm going to come back with something else that is going to be totally different from this. I've already put it on YouTube, just a little sentence of it. So be looking out for that. It's about the hag, sleep paralysis. I've often heard people talk about that. Okay, give me a thumbs up, please. Do that for me. I thank y'all so much for listening, and I hope that y'all have a pleasant day. Okay, take it light. Queen Los.